Venezuela's self-proclaimed interim president, Juan Guaido, has pledged to return to the country he supposedly leads on Monday. He left Venezuela in late February in defiance of a travel ban imposed by the country's Supreme Court. Since then, he's been touring Latin America to rouse support. The US National Security Advisor John Bolton has warned against any attempt to prevent Guaido's return. On Twitter, he said there would be a significant response from Washington should Guaido be hindered. Now, in a recent interview, Bolton said America was seeking a coalition for a change of government in the country.
I'd like to see as broad a coalition as we can put together to replace Maduro, to replace the whole corrupt regime. Look, in this administration, we're not afraid to use the phrase Monroe Doctrine. This is a country in our hemisphere. It's been the objective of American presidents going back to Ronald Reagan to have a completely democratic hemisphere.
The Monroe Doctrine, just mentioned there by Bolton, was unveiled by President James Monroe in the 19th century. Its purpose was to stop any European interference in the affairs of nations in the Americas. Many interpret the doctrine, though, as a justification for America's own interventions in the region. Russia's top diplomat fears Washington will use it to justify the use of force against undesirables in its hemisphere.
The Monroe Doctrine, which means the Americans should prevent others from entering South America, pales in comparison to the doctrine that is being formed now, which is basically that the Americans usurp the right to use force wherever they want.
They're violating the fundamental foundations of democracy, and without concerted negotiation by the international community. What they are talking about here is America for the Americans, going back to the Monroe Doctrine, and no interference from any other than them and the blocks that they create. This is very problematic because it can really derive in violence because of the fact that we're going to see there are no other option than a military intervention. Today we're talking about a multipolar world, and I don't really know what would that mean if America can be only for Americans, when you're talking about a world that's more globalized, when other countries also have interest in the Americas, economic interest, very important economic interest.